got the squeak. I got my squeak. Well, I tell you what. I don't know why it suddenly looks like it's so far up. What the fuck? I got to get this thing together today. Okay. Every day, depending on how the sun is hitting from outside, even though I'm not next to the window, it just it determines what up, dude. How are you? It determines how the fucking light looks up in here. And I'm just saying, do you see the level? I need to go tan it. That's all there is to it. All there is to it. Hi, bud. I hope you have a good evening. I hope you've been getting sleep lately, LP. I hope you have. Right. These are recorded. They stay online. You can always come back later. You can always just join whenever we have like an after party or something like that, right? Yeah, you need some help. You need some help. I wasn't trying to say that, LP. I'm so sorry. Oh, love you. You leave them out. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh God. Okay. Anywho, so this morning was pretty like I was like, am I gonna have something to talk about today? Like I'm trying to like give like I'm getting ready, right? I took a shower. Are you proud of me? Mm-hmm. You should be. And I'm just I it's like my when I'm in movement, y'all know this. Like I'm in prayer. I'm in connection with spirit. It's just the way that I am. And so like I'm asking, and I'm kind of like I don't know. Like, I don't know. And so I'm thinking, like, I'm feeling like, man, what about the rest of this week? Like, can we make this pertinent for people for the rest of this week? Like, what can we, And, like, I'm feeling like it's going to be, like, from today to Sunday kind of thing, Like, I know people dictate the week, like, differently, but whatever. Like, to me, that's, like, we're going to scoop the weekend in. And I'm like, okay. And then it was just one of those things where it was like, and that I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, could I do this? And could I do that? Like I'm thinking just in general in my day, and I keep hearing something being repeated to me, right? And at first I'm just thinking it's like, I'm just not paying attention to it because I'm already thinking of like a to-do list and kind of stuff like that. And as you can tell, the energy is today because it is coming out fast. And it keeps saying, now's the time for effort. Now you got to put in the effort. Now time for effort. I'm like, and then like the third time it dawned on me. I was like, I wanted to be like, I know, like, and then I was like, oh, not necessarily responding to me, just I put two and two together. So I have no clue because my intention was like, oh, okay, let's focus on like the here and now, like the rest of this week. Let's just, tap into that. And then that came up. So they might be melded. They may not. We may get more than one message. I don't know. But I was like, okay. And it's almost like the real effort begins now. So I was like, oh. And to me, that's like, that could, I feel like it's a mixed bag. Like that's actually getting organized, focused kind of thing, like so that you can put in the effort. That is sustained motivation. That is follow through, which would be action. Or it's one of those things where it's like you like maybe everything else up to now was the preparation, and now is the actual effort towards what it is that you're doing. And so like I don't know where this is going. But then I'm getting prepped, like I'm at the desk, getting the energies going, and I'm moving things around and everything. And I'm like, the excitement was palpable. I was like, what? But nothing was like auditory or visual coming through. It was like sensational. So there's that. So that's where we're starting. That's where we're starting. Huh. We're going to pull out the deck that I am still learning. It's called the Fallen Angels, and as you all know, I'm always like, there's no such thing as a fallen angel. Everybody is kind of like assigned somewhere, at least when you're in the angelic realm. Like it's kind of like you assume something or you take on a particular role for a purpose, that kind of thing. Like it's not like source strips anybody of their wings, kind of thing, but it's like having earth angels, in my opinion. So angels that have taken on other forms have been dubbed fallen angels, which really is not accurate. And so, but everybody somehow believes earth angels. And it's like you're in essence giving up your quote unquote wings, even though all of them do not have wings. But okay, that's how we depict them. Okay. And so they quote unquote give it up. So they're basically saying they give up their original form to take on this form. So it's funny to me that people are like, oh yeah, they, if they don't have their wings, they're stripped, but we believe in earth angels though that don't have wings. You know what? It's okay. We're human. We just our human in us has varying levels of understanding, and sometimes information come through, and you're like, I am just not. I'm closing it down. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. So there you go. It's okay. But when I got this, it was like, oh, and you'd think it's like all kinds of terrible things. That's not what the deck is all about. It's not what it's about. It's amazing. I like it. Just saying. I'm jealous in the most polite and loving way, Minishka. Okay, can I just say I am like that would be the thing that I would want to experience. Like, there's a lot I want to experience. Let me rephrase that. I would love to come to India. I would love to. I broke. I'm not broke, but I am like I think I don't have like the reserves just yet to do that. So that is on my to-do list. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. So my children, like when you live at a military community, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but apparently I'm supposed to go on some kind of tangent. So here we go. You have when I tell you we have so many cultures represented here, that and it's not that way necessarily within the rest of my state. So we have I can't tell you how many Asian markets. I can't tell you. We even have a Mexican market. Like, no shit. We have German markets here. We have an international market. Like even our commissary on post has an entire section because we have such a prevalent cultural population of first generation immigrants here, and so it's one of those things where it's we have. Now, don't get me wrong. At times, they have to curb some of the food they serve because, as Americans, when you've been conditioned to eat a certain way your entire life, sometimes new things can be so it's already in your subconscious. And so it's just not something in your palate and that kind of stuff. So don't get me wrong. I have gone to restaurants and I've literally witnessed, other like I'm Asian. I'm not Asian. Oh my God. I'm not that stupid, guys. I've witnessed, Asian individuals having certain stuff on their table. And I'm like, I want to try that. And they look at me and go, no, you don't. It's like a secret menu. Like, what is it? Maybe I do. I mean, there's shit in America I won't fucking eat. So come on now. Try me. But as I told you all, my middle son, since he was little, when I tell you this child, I believe wholeheartedly some of his most recent incarnations, he grew up, existed in one of the Asian countries. Because he has had such a draw to the culture, huge, to the point that I have all the utensils and the some of the cooking apparatuses. We had to go and buy so we could make things at home. I do not make it like grandma. I pretend like I know what I'm doing. I need somebody to teach me, okay? I'm looking shit up online. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And this child at the age of 7 could he was so well versed in chopsticks. This is the same child that's going into tech and has chosen to learn Japanese, and it is like immersed in some of the, he gets a very watered down Americanized introduction into these things, and so he goes searching on his own. He's right now reading The Art of War, which is not Japanese, but that's Chinese, right? Yeah, okay. And so you can tell that I'm trying. But I'm like, he is so, and he's like, he already knows, like, he's learning Japanese. He already said he's going to go to Japan. He's got several countries. So he's my little man who, even though my kids try things, he is so much more like, he's game. He's like, let's do this. And I made, I want, just as a reminder, I make a very watered down version because I don't have grandma here. Like, I know in every household, in every family, grandma makes everything the best, right? Got all the traditional methods of making something. It doesn't measure shit. Like my grandma's too. Okay, we had things called grandma nuggets, and I'm telling you right now, I don't care where you go, nobody does it like she does. I'm just saying. And so there's no replicating, I don't have somebody like that here teaching me. I'm on TikTok watching the other grandmas trying to teach us. Like, I'm trying to make kimchi now. It's just, anywho. And so I made buttery chicken, or that's what we call it here. I don't know what you call it. And he's coming up to me and he's like, he didn't know what I was making, and I made a bowl of it and I did fine. Okay. And he's like, he's naming the ingredients that are, does it have curry and turmeric, and like, he's going through some things, and he's like, it sounds like it, or not sounds like, it tastes like. I'm like, so I just wanted to let you all know that I be trying up in here. I be trying. All this talk of international food, going different places, and then being prompted by Manishka because she is celebrating what I understand to be the the Festival of Colors, and it's called Holi there. And it's like, if we're talking about something very worldly, other cultures, introduction into it, being immersed in it, that probably has something to do with it. Like, I am just now realizing it. I don't know what. But tangents, once I get started, like when I go on a tangent, I'm like, what? But it usually means something. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. I babbled too fucking much in the beginning, right? You know what I mean? I babbled too much. David, how are you? I don't know why it's not showing up for you, dude. Oh, okay. This is weird. Isn't it always? Act like that's something new or some shit. This is I cannot fucking believe this, guys. Okay, here's the thing. This is so weird. I've got 5 cards here. At the very center, very, very center is what we were just fucking talking about. But when I started going, like, none of the cards were out. And I still kept talking, and the last 3 came out just now. But what's funny is it looks like this. If you just look at the desk, okay? I know you fucking can't see this shit. Let me give you a little more space. Watch, like, don't stare at my belly. Well, shit. Okay, hold on. Let me, damn. I got to lower that thing or something because y'all can't see my desk like I normally have it. Okay, so that you can see shit. Okay, so when I have an even number of cards on each side, the middle card is the overall energy. Just to give you a little sneak peek. Like, this is like the kind of reading where I'm already going, claim, and I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm like, I want it. I might not after I get going, but we'll see. It literally says adventure down here. Down here. I know it's backwards. Adventure. Before the 3 cards came out, I was like, oh, something about talking about other cultures has to. I didn't even look at shit. Okay, here's the thing. The other way that it goes, there's another pattern that I'm noticing, and it's a little bit weird, and we'll find out why. I don't think it's going to be so bad, but we'll figure it out, okay? We have good, not good, good, not good, good. Like if you were just out of the gate, didn't know how to read tarot, oracle cards, or anything like that, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like these two, and they almost say the exact same fucking thing. Okay. Would you like to know? Okay. So the first one says danger. And the second one says danger of loss. Okay. It's a forewarning. Okay. It's a forewarning. What I'm seeing here is they're saying something exceptional is about to happen or has the potential to happen, but you might lose it if you, for a particular reason. Okay. I want to lean towards something and they're wanting me to pull back just a little bit on the reason why. Okay. So what are the three good cards? We've got settlement, which feels very much like a sense of permanency, which can be good and can be not good. I mean, if we, between settlement and adventure, Spirit's like, there's a bit of a danger there. I would actually say that to me, offhand, like just out the gate, like digging your heels in and settling is going to put you in a bad situation. Like, and take a look at this. This right here in this particular card is like what would be at a gravestone. It's like a gravestone. It's like a monument for at the grave. Does that make sense? And so they're almost kind of going, they're like, okay. You can kiss this something goodbye. And I know everybody's always like, I know the frou-frou sayings. I know the frou-frou sayings. What's for you will never pass you by. And I kind of like agree and call bullshit on it at the same time, if that makes sense. Okay. Because my thing is, you were once in agreement with it and you fucked it up. You can. I know people are like, you can't fuck anything. Yes, you can. There's good and like there's light and dark and everything. All right. We're not gonna spiritually bypass shit and act like I never fucked anything up. You know, if you don't want to call it fucked up, you can say that you pulled yourself out of alignment with something. And then by default, that statement's true. Because now you're no longer in alignment with you. So of course, what's in alignment with you didn't pass you by. The thing you're suddenly now out of alignment with passed you by. But you was in alignment with it at some point. Like, we don't get to take responsibility out of situations, okay? And I think maybe that's a little bit of what that whole title was, where them kept saying, now begins the real effort, or now the real effort begins. Because it's like, no, you don't get to, now that it's here, there's some on your shoulders, right? Because there was a period of time where it was like, ain't much you can do, it's coming, blah, blah, blah. You can't make it go faster, all that other shit. And suddenly, they just you know, now is the time for you to put some effort in. Like it's a co-creation. It takes both. So it gets this feeling of like when you get really sunken down in, it's like an option will suddenly become no more, right? Settling into a new path can be a really good thing, though. And so I feel like what you need to settle into is adventure. Just going to be honest with you, is the on a whim kind of trajectory changes. Like I'm just along for the ride kind of situation, right? And then between adventure and the last good one is celebration. Now, when I say good and not so good, it's like the three feel like very elevating, okay, and two feel like they're like, again, what you've already been in, that sense of longing, that sense of lack, that sense of like something missing, that kind of thing. So if we're talking about a danger of loss, it's almost as if like they want you to know there's it feels like to me they're just trying to say there's a potential that if you get too settled in where you're at, then and kind of like um surrendering to, but not beyond surrendering. It's almost like resigning yourself to the idea that this is how it's always going to be, and not really making any kind of attempt on your part whatsoever to be a participant in the change. Then you're right. That's you're gonna lose the fuck out. Okay, you're gonna miss this opportunity. You won't even see it. You'll completely pass it by because of fear, or you're in a victimhoody type of energy. So it's like, of course, sure, okay. But I'm going to read the danger cards from the book because, as always, like use these cards usually infused with something that the creator puts in here. And by all means, it's a new deck, so I'm not going to act like, but that's what I'm getting intuitively already from this. Okay, where am I at? I know how to count. So, Osei, which is this angel right here, kind of has like a double-edged sword to him. He bestows enormous intelligence and talent on those he favors, yet these gifts carry with them the peril of delusion for those not strong enough in character to handle them. It can lead to inflated, egotistical delusions of grandeur. And I don't know why they want me to read this. It's like madmen believing themselves to be kings or popes or even Jesus are typical of those who have been overwhelmed by the bright flame of Osei's inspiration. Basically, what they're saying is a great opportunity lies before you, but beware of rushing ahead carelessly. To me, it still gives me the air of this belief that somehow, like sometimes our belief in what our vision is or what spirit can do leaves us in the place where we think, okay, well, everything's just going to happen like magic. Like we can't think of the very tangible 3D way something might play out and how we have to play a factor in that, how we are a participant in that. Right? This is the whole analogy of like, oh, such and such is supposed to happen for me, then I must just be winning the lottery. Or such and such is supposed to happen for me. Oh, I can just sit here and wait for it to arrive. I'm on the couch. Just because, and it's that swinging pendulum, right? It's finding that happy medium between things because it's knowing when and where to put that discernment, right? How to maneuver with it. Wisdom is wisdom because it's applied knowledge, and it's not just applied, it's applied in the correct manner. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, if you know something's meant to happen, fantastic. And if you've been told that at one point you need to hold off, then that was probably true as well. But it's like, but when you get another message where now is the time to act, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was told to hold off. And like, I've done all the work that could ever be done on myself. And so spirit, it's like those people who act like their ancestors are going to curse every motherfucker that crosses them. It's like, you fucking. Okay. They're just going to do it always for you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Is that why your life is so magnificent? Or this grandeur where people act like negative shit can't happen to them just because they're a spiritual being. I hear fucking tarot readers all the time act like, well, I don't let something like that in because I do. I'm like, bitch, Wrong. Nobody gets a free pass at the human experience. Stop your bullshit. You can already tell somebody's under a fucking delusion right there. Out the gate. Oh, sorry. Okay. So number 37. Okay, they want me to read the adventure one too. Okay. I mean, I kind of feel like that's like self-explanatory, but all right, fine, whatever. Eloquence and wisdom will bring success in a new venture. Wisdom is applied knowledge, knowing when, where, and how. Not just like somehow it's like, ooh, it's just gonna show up on a silver platter and I don't gotta do anything. But it's also the delusion, like somehow you get to control everything too, right? Because there's the opposite of that, of not doing anything and feeling like you're in total control and you can make shit happen. And so you take all kinds of reckless action, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It is still co-creation. Like, you know what I mean? Or like when spirit's like, okay, it's here right now. And so you think that you can be reckless and you're like, oh, well, I can go spend all my money right now because I'm sure at some point later this week the money's going to arrive. And it's like, what? The methods, the opportunity is here right now. It ain't in your fucking bank account yet. What are you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This is a passage of from one stage of life to the next. It indicates success if you can rise courageously to the challenge of your situation. Okay, that's what they wanted me to get to. Okay, which I kind of feel like I'd still tapped into already. I was like, you don't get to just wait for it to show what the fuck up. There is something now. And you all have been asking, what can I do? Is there something that I can do? And Spirit's like, okay, so now's the time. But hold on, don't get your britches in a I always say, okay, so in the South, like where I'm from, we have a word called knickers, Knickers, and it's those things that you wear under your garments that like comes down to here and stuff like that. It's an undergarment. And so instead of saying panties in a wad, we say, but sometimes I'm like, I'm afraid somebody's going to mishear me and think it's another term. And I'm like, hell to the fucking no, I would never say that shit. And so I'm stopping myself. I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't say that because somebody out there is going to misconstrue that shit. And that's a no. You won't ever hear that shit from me. Okay. So danger of loss, which I feel like we kind of know, but let's go there. Ooh, the moon, which we just had last night. Guard against theft, not just of money and goods, but reputation. Wow. So it says, beware of those who would want to rob you of something. Oh, this is what we've been talking about. The person that wants to rob you of the ability to break free, right? The person that wants to create a ruckus because something happens and does well for you. It could even be like energetic attacks that will be attempting to, and that kind of stuff. Any kind of wealth or treasure can attract him or those operating from his energy. And when he shows up, whatever happens, like whatever these people that want to do something, this is what we've talked about before, guys. They can dull the sight, hearing, and understanding, making it easier to go about doing their work. So it's like trickery. Oh, we said something about trickery yesterday, but yesterday wasn't a bad kind of trickery. This is okay. So they are. We knew as soon as you started taking steps, an action towards something, these people was going to come out the woodwork. whether it's someone that wants to get in your mind by saying shit, talking shit, being passive aggressive, those types of comments, or someone who will try to guilt trip you, shame you, pass judgment on you, or even worse, they may try to make, a ruckus, right? They might start saying shit about you. And it's like, it's going to come to light. You're going to see it. And you're literally just going, and for some people, you're like, that's sad. That's fucking sad. But it's like, they've been conditioning you, as in spirit, over the last month and a half to 2 months, saying, not everybody's going to be happy about this. Even the people that are still remaining. It's like, as you begin to walk into this and you start doing the things, like when an offer comes in and you start going for it, it's going to piss some people off. Again, somebody around you does not want you. They want to feel like they're doing better than you, or they have some kind of influence still over you. And when you break free, okay? And so I feel like you're sentencing yourself to this existence. Like, digging your own grave by staying, but also you might do the same if you're too hasty with what you're going to know to move forward. And I feel like it's just be aware. Remember we talked about being in the observance energy, and like you're going to be observing and you're going to be seeing things even from your own internal dialogue. You're going to be like, okay. But you're not going to stop. You're not going to slow down. You're going to keep moving. Okay, don't allow that old voice to be like, oh, but they really mean it. Oh, da, da, da. No, take it at face fucking value and see it for what it really truly is. Okay, if you don't recognize this and you don't accept it when it presents itself to your face, like, some of them will try to make it really low key. And if you try to be like, oh, that's not so bad. I mean, they always talk like that. They will try to do more. Don't underestimate. This is like your final call as you're walking into this, who to leave behind, and who, for you to finally make that decision and determination, who you can and cannot trust, who really is your cheerleader, who's really seeing your worth. Okay. And again, this is also a sense that, much like those that have come before, right, that have taught you this already, there'll be new ones, right? You'll have new people come into because we did talk about yesterday, like with whatever comes in a new tribe, a new community, a new network, and you will have to be on point with knowing, you know what I'm saying? And like that people are going to want to be an energetic vampire to you, just like the old people in your life or in the old phase of your life, but in a different capacity. That they will be there to cheer you on as long as you're doing well, and they can take some of that energy. They don't even have to have prestige from it or anything else like that, but like you're on a high, so it's like they siphon some of that energy to help, because they don't know how to create that whirlwind, that vortex on their own, and so they come in and they siphon from yours. You're going to have to pay attention. Okay. And we did talk about that. That's what the wisdom is, right? As you go into this, don't think, oh, that's why I brought up the whole, like, some people think they're impervious to like attacks. I'm so well versed in this and I know all of this, that, nothing can happen. They won't be able to, like, my guides got me and everything else like that. But can I just say that, like, just because spirit's there to protect you, like, part of the protection they give you is the 20 million fucking red flags for you to pick up on. The whole reason you went through this preparation period where you just like, you honed and skilled and you learned and you purged everything is so that you would have the fucking discernment. But they can't force you to eliminate or to avoid or to not bring into the fold somebody who's not good for you once you fucking see the red flag. Now, you have done that before. You've allowed people to stay who shouldn't. You've brought people in even though you saw red flags, and it's like, come on. So moving forward, there's this sense of like, it's just a warning. It's a reminder more than anything. Believe somebody when they tell you who they are the first time, because you don't have to stick around in the process of them learning their lessons, and be a casualty of their fuck ups. Be a casualty of their energetic vampirism. And I know some people are like, there's no such thing as an energy vampire and everything. I still call them that, because if they are consistently going around looking for people to siphon from and never generate their own sense of self-worth and their own confidence and their own self-love and their own pride and their own vortex of happiness, then you're still like, I get it. I'm still responsible for handing my power over like that and allowing someone to do that, but they're still a fucking energetic vampire. So miss me with that shit, okay? Just saying. I don't take responsibility for their shit. Just mine. And so that term is still very accurate. Like, it's time to move out of that old pattern once and for all completely. Meaning you don't get to take that old pattern of giving people allowances or too many allowances in your life, right? You don't get to take that forward with you. Okay, so let's take a look at this, because you thought it was hard. Like, here's the thing. This is the point where it's walking the talk. Like, I know you went through the purge and you thought that shit was difficult, but it can be very uncomfortable for your human to feel like, am I doing this right? Am I gauging this right? Am I seeing this right? Like walking the talk of having established boundaries and enforcing them, because that's the whole point of a boundary, right? Boundaries are not here where you can control others, right? Which we talked about. You don't get, like, this isn't something where like suddenly everybody else is like, no, you have to have this established, and you have to be willing to say no, thank you. And sometimes you gotta be willing to do more than say no, thank you. Like, fuck off. Seriously. Like, make it fucking known. And sure, some people may try to make you to be the villain for that. Oh, how sweet. You think I haven't been there before. Bitch, my entire motherfucking life. Shut up. Okay? That was your training. Because what else, when you venture into this new whole second life of yours that you're about to have, yeah, you're still going to run into that, right? Healing doesn't make you impervious to bullshit. I don't know who fucking told you that. Again, like all these people that want to act like they're so spiritually elevated that nothing can reach them, that is the prime time for something to come through. Holy shit. The arrogance of some people. So don't be that. Don't do that. Because again, I don't care who or what you were before you came here, you're a human now. And so you are going to have a human experience. Okay. Where are we going now? So I think the real, like when they say the real effort begins, is it's the follow through on everything that you've already fucking learned. It's the follow through. Okay. Thank you. Madame Dora's fortune telling cards. Okie dokie. That's pretty good on like stay with spirit, okay? Your perseverance is rewarded. Be meticulous and patient. Like, just because you finally stepped into it and things start to arrive doesn't mean that you suddenly, like, you can have, it's not so much like you don't, not to let your guard down. It's like you don't have to forgo intelligence. Right? Like, spirit never asks you to abandon your wisdom just because of what intuition comes through. Like, I have seen it over and over again, and I've probably done it a time or two, I'll be honest with you, where it's like, oh, this is supposed to happen. And so my guard's completely down, like, spirit's got this. Again, it's a co-creation. Why do you think that you don't have a seat at the table when the shit's occurring and happening? And we've already had this conversation, like, what role do you play? Right? Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm getting a sense that as you venture forward, and there is, because they are, okay, thank you. They're mentioning something again. Darkness looms on the horizon. When you step into this path, you think like the worst is over, and it is, so long as you exercise your discernment and your knowledge and your wisdom. Okay? Don't let that shit fly out the fucking window just because you're suddenly happy that things are going smoothly and everything else like that. When you step into a new arena, honey, all kinds of new shit with this game. Like you're in a new arena. You're gonna encounter new things. You're gonna see old shit, old people, and new faces. Okay? Just saying. New circumstances. Okay? The whole point of purging everything and going through what you did the last 3 years, right? You've been picked up, put back onto this path right where you left off, is so that you would have that. Because we've got the forces of nature favor you. So it's literally like when you've got spirit on your side, or when you have like the energy of whatever this is in your favor. Okay, no matter what is presented to try and contrast that, you have to have that faith and that confidence, right? That things will favor you as long as you are aware of this. And the fact that I pulled these out and laid these over here, and the whole darkness looms on the horizon with the adventure is, as soon as you step foot, someone's going to have something to say. Someone is going to seek you out. You're going to be new to this game, and people are going to look at you. You're going to have energy sniffing around you going, oh, fresh prey. Because you're new to them, so they're going to make assumptions, right? Let your intentions be known. Set your motherfucking boundaries like it's not even funny. I don't care. Even if at first sight you feel like, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing opportunity. I'm going to give you an example. A job comes in. We just talked about yesterday, like negotiate your worth. Okay. Let's say a job comes in, and so you start you go through the negotiation process and everything else like that. And it's like, they don't be a fool, right? They'll try to take advantage of you because you're new to this. Like, you should just be lucky that we're offering you something, and you should, like, you'll be so grateful that you'll just be, whatever, I'll take it. And then they're like, you need to articulate yourself from the fucking get-go, from the offset. I don't care if you're dealing with somebody from the past, new people that are coming in, new situations and circumstances. I don't care. Like, you need to be bold enough, okay? Because here's the thing. When this happens, and when like it's just natural that these certain industries that you might go into, or certain communities you might go into, like when you're new on the scene, people will just see what they can get away with, because there's always going to be a level of self-interest in this for anybody. So why shouldn't you? Okay? Establish your boundaries. Articulate what you know your worth is. Exert confidence in yourself, because if the forces favor you, you're more, meaning that the circumstances as they are and the energies at play really will favor you to get what it is that you want and what you deserve and what you unless you allow the dumb fuckery to occur, at which point, what do you want spirit to do? So it's like, if you were to articulate exactly what you want in any kind of negotiation or whatever else, it's like, and stand your ground on that, you'll get what you want and what is right and just, as long as you are coming from that energy, right? But believe you me, if you're timid or not really sure, or if you're just like, I just should be grateful for anything, like, you're then putting yourself in the situation where it's like, you should be grateful for any morsel. That's what you already came from. Do you want to really set up shop in that energy again, that pattern again? No, don't do it. also say when you are continuing to try and keep when you are doing protection work on yourself, you have to renew it. You have to really articulate when you're exerting that you want to achieve something in this existence, but rather than just I want something different, say what the fuck you want, even to the universe. Put it out there. If you don't consent to anybody taking from your energy or allowing any other energies to get close to you, you need to articulate that. Establish that. Okay, we're going with this one. It's the Archangel Tarot. We got an angel theme here today. Or what some cultures call angels. Sorry. I got this upside down. Where are we at? Hello, how are you? So I'm seeing new people. I was just saying hi. Sorry. This is absolutely also dealing with who you're leaving behind. Again, it's going to trigger somebody. They're going to say something. They're going to exert themselves. They might throw a tantrum, or they might say it might all be like under wraps where they start talking shit about you behind your back. So it's also like in discernment. You know who the fuck they are. Should you really be telling them all the good shit that's happening? Should you be giving them all the details? Because we've got right here is a desire to move on. We've got the 8 of Cups here. And it's like the search for something more meaningful, a spiritual and emotional growth. I think that they want to heavily focus on, which we've already been giving a heads up on this. But somebody's going to try and I'm just going to say it. Someone's going to try and fight you on this. Whether it's, again, passive aggressive, right? So they won't come right the fuck out, but they will try and create whatever. This is even to the extent of, I have seen people who go perfectly well, but when a person gets ready to move on to another phase, and I'm not saying this, but we know some people who almost stay in a perpetual state of illness. And I'm not talking about disabilities. I'm not talking about people who have exceptional, legitimate, lifelong things that they have. I'm talking about the person that somehow either feigns like they just can't do it on their own, or they magically seem to always get sick. And there is an energetics to it. I got to be honest with you, right? So it's not always going to come out as combative. Okay. Someone may be like, I really need your help and I just can't, and they'll do that passive aggressive, manipulative type of tactics. Like, you're the only one that can help me and blah, blah, blah. And God knows if you say no and you exert yourself and you're like, I need to be the one to look out for me, they'll say shit behind your back. Like, I just really needed my friend and they didn't do this, and like they will play the victim. It's amazing how it happens, as if everything in their fucking life is your responsibility because you got no life of your own, right? And to hell with any kind of assistance or help you may have given them in the past. That doesn't count now because I need you now, right? We know these motherfucking people. We know these people. Like, suddenly your entire life is written off. And I've talked about this before. I was like, you could get suckered in because of this came out in a reading where like somebody might get pulled in. And it's like, the only reason this person is in such a bad position in their mental health, emotional health, and physical health is because of their own doing. And it is not your job to take on the responsibility or to take on the weight of that because of what they have done. And yes, there are people where that's occurred. Okay. So it's like, remember this as you're trying to walk by, because something's going to come up as you are walking away to find true happiness in your life. I just heard feet to the fire is what it really is. It's like, we've been telling you this, and now's the time where you're going to have to do it. Like, we've been prepping you. We've been coaching you. We've been trying to get you prepared for this. It's here. It's going to start happening. You're going to start seeing it in your day-to-day life. And you're going to have to be very solid as this begins and starts, because it's going to be swift movement. There's not really going to be this level of being able to hem and haw or feel like, remember pumping the brakes? That's not there. You need to be solid in what you want. You need to be solid in your intentions, in your boundaries, and your worth, and just fucking execute it. You need to follow through. Remember at the beginning, it was like, there's a follow through here that's happening. And that's the real effort that they're talking about. Right? You can talk the fucking talk all you want, but when the thing that you've wished and wanted and hoped for shows the fuck up, you have to walk the talk. So the 8 of water, which is the 8 of cups, then we have the 2 of pentacles, making that decision, right? And yesterday, the 2 of pentacles showed up, but it was more of like something it had to do with career or skill sets or something like that. And so something in your past is playing a factor and will be integrated into, and it's going to be expanded. But in this one, this is literally like making a decision. Like, someone's going to feel like they're at a crossroads, and someone's going to try to guilt them, shame them, or create a ruckus or chaos. And it's what they usually do, okay? And that's usually controlled you before. But their tactics are not going to control you anymore. Now, I don't know if that means that they're going to attempt to ramp it up. I would say, though, that if you are worried about someone's response, like how they'll respond, I'm getting 2 things. Like, you don't like the confrontation or anything else like that. This is a play on a previous reading that I did probably about 3 months ago, where it was talking about someone will show their ass, basically. And so everybody's going to be able to see that the issue is them and not you. And that gives you the freedom to move along. Obviously be very smart and discerning. And obviously there was a need for a little bit of a patience, because it will work itself out. You can exert yourself and set boundaries and articulate what it is that you want and go for what you want, while also being smart to go, okay, I'm not going to be like, you piece of shit, motherfucker. Blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously that might stir some shit up. Could create an unsafe environment. Or you may have to work with an attorney. And it's like, and if they say, don't worry, we'll get this to happen, but in the meantime, this is what I want you to do. Heed the advice. Like, it doesn't mean that you're not stepping down. You don't have to buckle. Like, the forces are behind you on this. Okay? And so I would say that if you're like the type of person that doesn't want that type of doesn't want confrontation, but I mean, obviously be smart about it. They're telling you your discernment, right? But don't allow that to back down, because when the energy of the circumstance or situation, or the whole situation at large, really is in your favor, people will see it, right? So you don't want to detract from the bullshit somebody else is going to start pulling and throwing around. So if they start doing their shit, don't you start throwing shit, like monkeys just throwing shit at each other. You ever been to the zoo and saw shit flying? I have. And so it's one of those things where it's like, don't participate, but articulate, but establish, continue to go forward. Like, don't back down. Don't be intimidated, because the forces of nature are behind you in this situation. Things are in your favor. And when you allow them, much like when we get into a conversation with somebody, you let them keep talking and they can kind of hang themselves a little bit, like they will show their cards. Same in this scenario. If you just are meticulous about how you maneuver, I promise you they're going to show their cards to you and everybody else, okay? So that is needed to be said. But there's like a decision, right? And even though you're like, I've been told this a million times, I know I'm going to make the right decision. When you get in the moment, though, right? When it's time to walk the fucking talk, that shit feels different. I don't care. There's no amount of preparation or anything. You get in it and your human has that fight, flight, or freeze instinct. Like, holy shit. Because you're having to do something you haven't done before. Which is exercise your fucking independence. Use the discernment that you've the discernment, the self-worth, the self-love, all of that shit all at once as you're maneuvering, having to use that knowledge and what you know and your intuition to dictate how you move, what you see, what you're observing. Like, seriously, it's different when you start to employ all of that. It feels uncomfortable at first. You might feel like your human's going to be like, I want to revert to old ways, muscle memory, right? So that's why they say it's still a decision. You say it now, but decision requires action as well. So the real effort begins now. Okay? And they're telling you this because, again, center energy, the delays are over, hun. The delays are over. This shit's going to start popping off. It's going to start happening. You're going to start seeing this. Okay? Many things will be happening at once. You've got this. Be the Queen of Swords. Objective decision making. Look at the greater picture. Being in the observatory type of energy. Witnessing and seeing how things are playing out, yet all the while being very aware of your inner realm and what you desire and what you want for yourself, right? You're going to have to be the Queen of Swords at this, right? She gets to step forward and make these decisions accordingly. And again, Queen of Swords always has her sword at the ready. And yes, sometimes it's not needed. Yet sometimes it's used to clear the path if an obstruction's in the way. And sometimes it's used to cut shit out. You're going to need to be in this energy. Two of Fire. I love the way that this sums it up. It's literally saying you've come into your own. Continue to move forward. So the Ace of Wands is what you want, what you desire, what you feel motivated towards. The Two of Wands is taking the action. This choice and decision and how to move forward requires action. So let's see if we can't get some more detail on how that would pan out. What do we want to do? Where do we want to go? Oh. I think people, I don't want to harp on the negative, like the potentialities of what people will pull, because we already said that. But it feels like people already have an inclination of who the most prominent source would be. And they are obviously focusing on, when you walk into new rooms, there'll be people like this. You'll see old faces and new people. But right now, what you got to do is walk away from the old. It's the actual doing. And if you're going to have to be in the Queen of Air, I'm not so sure that you're needing cheerleading right now. You're needing, okay, give it to me straight. What can I expect to happen? because you're going to look at this from a very like objective, seeing the entire picture, and that helps you to make your moves. Like, you don't need to be you don't need to be overly negatively aspected. The Queen of Swords would be like she allows impulsivity and emotions to get mixed in, and so then she starts wielding the sword out of like vengeance and all kinds of stuff, instead of from a place of in her favor, right? And so this is really pulling it in where it's like, what may have at some point gotten you emotionally. And I think that you're pretty good at not letting something like this get to you emotionally anymore. Because I feel like that was a tactic. A way to, because if they get you emotionally, that's where your shame and your guilt comes from, right? Is that, oh, like you feel bad about yourself, right? And so they would target that. And if they couldn't get that, then they would confuse you, right? And I don't think that can happen. I think they're saying detach from that when dealing with this situation, when dealing with these people. I said, nope. Okay, fine. No. Actually, I'm going to change it, and I want to know, because there was a mixture, right? Because at first I was like, let's just look at the rest of this week. Like, how does the whole now is the real time to have effort, how does that play into the here and now? What's the immediate future for me? What does that look like? Let's do that. Remember I said I feel like they're going to kind of come together. I don't know how. I think this is how. Somebody might get a message at night. I'm just going to put that out there. I want to make sure. Like, I'm already getting it, but I'm like, before I say that. I'm just going to say it. Somebody's got family, okay? There's going to be distance that's going to be created between you and a family member as you pursue what it is that you really want. And they may, for a period of time, cut shit off. We have the fox, which can be all about this cunning energy. We have the path card, which is all about distance, but also going down a new path, or the path that you've been on for a period of time. So there may be something about something that's been occurring over 1 to 2 years with a family member that's going to come to like a final close. So if there's been this battle between you and like some family member or a distant family or somebody that would be considered family in a capacity, this could go as far as like ex-husbands. This could be like or ex-wives, exes. I should say ex-spouses. There we go. This could be like cousins. This could be siblings that are, whatever it is. It could be parents. Okay. Because then we have the death card, right? Which is all about an ending, a full stop. Okay. So when I clarified it, it was like, what do you mean with the pathway card? And they're talking about the stork is also can be about new beginnings, but it's also about it's travel, it's going somewhere, it's going the distance, it's making movement towards something that you love, right? And so they're saying that something might occur, right? I'm fully getting flat the fuck out family vibes from this. Somebody in a family, and it's like this end, okay, this full stop has something, and that's what I was clarifying, has something to do with a burden that you had to be very guarded on. So I'm getting a couple of these things, a couple of ways this could play out. This burden could be the mother bear is like, maybe there's been a burden for you because you have children. And like, it has taken a toll on you because this ultimately, okay, like the entertainment of this person, the entertainment or the last 2 years experience with this person has made it so unbelievably fucking difficult. And like, you've been doing what you can do to protect children. And it has been because the mother bear is like, I fucking wish you would. It is such a massive, but it's like, I'm going to have to take on an aggressive stance with this level of protection, a stubbornness, that kind of thing, right? But it has been a burden. Like, I shouldn't have to be so guarded and protective of my child or of myself from family, right? And that is what ends. Like, you don't have to be guarded or protected. Like, this is like, and again, it creates distance, is what I want to say. Whatever happens and you pursuing and you going and you putting in the effort and you standing your ground on this and you moving forward, despite whatever this other motherfucker might try, you keep going because this is what it helps to alleviate this level of on guard protection you've had to have that feels like such an amazing burden. And it's probably why you've not been able to enjoy things and get back into that sense of laughter and childlike energy. Okay. Also, and if you're not a mom or whatever, like if you've had, this could be dealings with a mother, you know what I mean? Like having to deal with this person, this family member has been such an ongoing battle and weight for you, female or male, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's been too much for you. And it's like, that's ending. Like, you going and following this and creating the distance takes care of this burden you've been having to bear for the last little bit. Okay. And it may mean full on, like, lack of contact with this family member, period, because of it. It could be. Just saying. And again, you're like, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm doing it. And when the time comes, the guilt tactics and the all kinds of shit, you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be the Queen of Swords. Okay? Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords. Okay, I guess we'll bring that one out again. How else can this play out? Here soon, because I'm getting like, I don't know what it is about, like, it was feeling like I guess it's the next 5 days, right? From now till Sunday. And can I just say this? How, okay, my hair keeps getting in my mouth. Y'all know I be pulling some hair out my mouth. With that last little spread, it's like if this is some form or fashion of a family member, that could be considered family in some way or another, right? Then there's also this thing of where they may be removed simultaneously to you having the option to move forward, and you don't need to feel guilty about it. Like, you've got to follow through. You've got to take this new path, right? This is the moment where it shows the fuck up and you have to follow through. You got to walk the talk, and it's going to be different than the knowing. I get it. Yes, I'm sure I can do it. And it shows the fuck up, and you're like, your human can get scared, and it's okay. It's okay. It's something new, right? But deep seated within you, you know, right? So just acknowledge the discomfort. But don't get emotionally involved with it. Stay in your Queen of Swords, because this is the only way. It's not the only way, but it's the best way for you not to get wrapped up into the old patterns of guilt, shame, judging yourself for what you're doing. It is okay to fucking choose you. And you just need to tell yourself that as you're going through this. Because there may be something that happens on their end, and then it's like, this is your leverage to make that distance. And fucking hair in my mouth. Sorry. Hey, Joe. Read two ways. So first they wanted the pathway card to come out again, and then I'm not kidding you. We have a female with a child, and normally the child to me is always like new beginnings, but I do feel a familial situation here, whether it's your mother and you're the child. Obviously, I don't care if you're fucking grown, you're still the child, or you are a mother with children. But the messenger card in this deck talks about both somebody coming in or somebody leaving. So it's literally like, I take this since it's last, and she's going this direction, like she's on my side, she's going like this. She's facing that direction, and it is a female on this horse. It's literally like when this path opens up, this family needs to move forward. No guilt, no shame, no nothing. Like, Queen of Swords, you know ultimately what's best for you. Okay. Sometimes Spirit just needs to reiterate something. And we'll check a couple more times to see if there's any other scenarios, how this can play out and what they want to bring. Sudden wealth. Coming to somebody who's not doing well when it comes to finances, who may be out of work. A gift. More specific, Spirit. So what you've been wanting and desiring. The kind of gift that helps you move forward. Okay, we have a match here. Older male, older, like mature male, mature woman. Jesus, I can't get shit together, right? In between that, we have great fortune and like a courthouse. So this could be something going in your favor. Again, remember it says here that things will go in your favor. You just have to be bold enough to take the step. Okay, so if what you've been wanting and desiring requires any type of intervention from authority figures of any type, and there is someone that's on your level, like that would be considered like a counterpart in your situation, then and courthouse is all about the legal documents, the negotiations, the mediations. So if you are a parent and there's some kind of something that has to happen, and it's like court involvement is there, or there has to be like an agreed order or whatever else it is, then this is all about, it's going to go in your favor. You're going to get exactly what it is that you want. Okay. It is almost guaranteed because of the circumstances and the situations surrounding this. Everything is in your favor. I am also getting, I don't know who this is for, even though like there was a little bit of like some type of, I just heard you're going to be given the okay. So for somebody, they may need like approval or whatever to go and do what it is that they want. You're going to get the okay. You're going to get what it is that you want. You're going to be able to, for somebody, move away or move forward. But I'm also getting a sense of like somebody maybe getting a gift given to them by like a couple. This would also make me feel like because like an inheritance of some kind. Again, this has been coming up a lot lately, and to me, this feels very actual financial. Like this isn't like, oh, you're gonna inherit a spiritual gift kind of thing. Like it's not that. And because we've got the sudden wealth mixed with despair, and it's almost like something comes from a negative situation. Something good can come to you from what you would perceive to be a negative situation, and it's being gifted to you and will be leveraged for you to make moves. Okay. And it could be like parental figures or like a spouse that may have passed. Things could have been in probate. Like, let me tell you, that shit can take some fucking time. And whatever it is, like there's documentation that gives you this. This could be a will. Okay. So if that's happened to anybody, you'll get what is owed to you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And how else can this whole like this next of this week, the rest of this week, there's going to be some kind of like, if I'm asking about the remainder of this week, there'll be some type of hint, evidence, or turning of the wheel. Like you'll be able to see events moving along with this, with whatever this is, the you having to follow through. Okay. Couple of things. We got the courthouse, the card that came out again with the official person, which could literally be like being served with something. I get the feeling of like, again, if it was like a will or if there was something like that, you're going to get word of it. Like you're going to get the official stamp of approval. It's going to be approved. If there's something that's requiring you to negotiate something, I'm also getting a sense of like a contract. Like coming through for you, like a contract being approved. So like if there's like something that required a bit of a negotiation or a pros and cons, like working it out just the right way. Official person, like the authority involved, like it's going to happen. It's going to be done. It is so. The official person is also the authority over this that can negotiate these things, right? We do have the mature man, which feels like in this instance, it would be like the emperor type of energy that we have seen show up sometimes, like the person with the capacity. And it's like this person has something to do with like yesterday when I saw like, okay, mature man with great fortune. So the person that has the resources, the capability or the infrastructure or whatever else it is, and has the key to unlocking or removing this limitation from you. There is an element in regards to this where it would be like this mature man has the capacity to turn a seemingly negative situation around to a positive. So if there's been something that you felt very limited and was blocking you, whatever they have and bring in kind of has the key for this. And it's like there is this, it could be a contract, it could be a lease, it could be like an official that's like, hey, here's the, this is passed, like whatever you might have petitioned the court for, they've approved it, right? But then we have the house, and I'm gonna go with this has something to do with where you are living, because we have the family room mixed with the house, which means to me, abso-fucking-lutely has something to do with where you live, because we have the community card. You can't get any more like this has everything to do with moving. So somebody may get approved, right, for a lease, approved for buying a home, approved for whatever it is. And something about this gives you the leverage. Like maybe a landlord is going to say, oh my gosh, I even said they have the keys. I didn't even, oh shit, hold on. I got to plug my computer in. It's about to lose power. You may actually get approved for a home or like whatever, because I just said like this emperor has the keys to help unlock whatever you've been feeling like is limiting you. And it's like if needing to find a home or needing to move has been the issue, you're going to find somebody that's willing to give you the opportunity. Okay. Anything else, Spirit, that would happen this week? Anything else? I'm going to shuffle this. Okay, we'll make this general, but I keep getting something about a move. Like, so for somebody, this is a literal move, like moving home, like period, fucking point blank, altogether. For others, it's more general, where it's like whatever move you think, like the person that's been blocking you from being able to make a move, right? Like whatever maneuver you need to make to get out of this situation, because you're going to be elevated out of this. This is the imprisonment, the limiting circumstance, being elevated out of it. You feel like this keeps being stolen from you, like somebody is taking that opportunity. We have the thief card with the journey, where it's like they keep taking your ability to do this away. And then, of course, again, in between both of those, we got the community. So this is like your neighborhood, your street that you live on, the area of town, that kind of stuff. So you've been kind of like stuck somewhere, feeling like I'm stuck here. I can't necessarily get out because of something. And because right next to the thief card and the journey card, like you feel like somebody will interfere or sabotage with your ability to move. And there is an older male masculine energy. Like you fully expect for some motherfucker to. So it could be an ex. It could be your old landlord gonna pull some dumb shit. It could be, like your family. This has kept you feeling depressed. We have the mature woman again. So in this scenario, this is like a counterpart, which I said before, it was a counterpart. And between the mature man, like, because you're expecting this motherfucker to kind of keep you in this energy, not being able to go anywhere, in a sense of lack, that exists between these two fucking people. You fully expect that he's going to pull some shit, whoever this mature man is to you. Okay. What has that got to do with this week? Like, I need to pull some different cards. Wait, what does this have to do with this? Okay, they told me to leave that. So what about that is going to happen this week? Because I keep asking that, and this is what they're saying. Like, you're going to begin to see the evidence of this. Maybe it's seeing the evidence of, maybe that's why you're in the Queen of Swords. Remember, observing? You're going to start seeing someone act out. But don't act impulsively. It's almost let them. And then also like, and take it at face value. Like, be like, that's who they really are. You got no reason to feel guilty about shit. Right? So something about that. What aspect of this situation with this person is happening in the immediate future? That's what I want to know. You see that? What's the independence? Oh my gosh. For somebody, if you have this might be an ex that will try to talk to you. And when you're like, and you establish it, like, no, I got no interest in you whatsoever. And they like don't even get a rise out of you, Queen of Swords, they're not gonna like it. They'll probably show their ass. Because that will be the first evidence of your level of independence. Your complete, utter independence of them. someone else, you're going to come into a money opportunity. For someone, the first evidence of independence in a money situation, Ace of Pentacles. And for someone, you're the first sign of your independence in a love situation. Okay. And no matter what the circumstance, it takes bravery to move forward, but you're going to move forward as is. Like you'll do it. We have the bravery card, which is the Seven of Wands, which is about knowing your worth and guarding that, right? It is about the boundaries and establishing them. It's the healthy way of it's the healthy level of protection. It is knowing your worth, period, fucking point blank. Seven of Wands, right? You're not going to let anybody mess with where you've gotten to at this point. You know you are worth this, and you know you're worth what's to come. Chariot is moving forward, gung fucking ho, like rhino spirit. Not a fucking thing's going to stand in your way, and that's really where you need to be. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I feel like I've done as many scenarios, but like there's some level of like the first evidence of this. Either they get a whiff of it or you get a whiff of it, right? Or almost simultaneously, right? Because in some situations, like they're not going to be doing so well. And that gives you the leverage to maneuver. So you'll get some kind of like, oh, shit's hit the fan. Like, this is my time to make moves. And when I say shit's hit the fan, it means that they can't focus on you anymore and they can't manipulate you anymore because something, and you know that now's the time. Like, okay, you wanted this, you waited for this opportunity, move forward. For others, it's going to be something good happens to you. Even if it's just like, oh, I got like a really good job interview, or I got like accepted to X, Y, and Z, and somebody finds out. Ace of Pentacles, it's like, oh, that first sign of independence. They ain't gonna wait. You're gonna start seeing it. You're gonna start seeing the shit that they pull. All right. Yeah, I've been doing different scenarios to try and help people understand how it might play out for them. Because that's what happens in, when you've got a collective and everything else like that, and people tend to, it's like, okay, how could this play out for them? That's what to help people. Cappy, you'll want to read, I swear to God. You're welcome. You'll want to go watch, like, this has been like an ever evolving story over the last couple of months. And it's like, we're always looking at it from different scenarios, situations, different perspectives. And so the best way to know is to go back and watch, because we've already been over that. I just gotta be honest with you. So that might help. I know you've been in and out. I don't know if you've watched all of them, but it might help. Yep. Just general. I gotta get this really quick. Let's see. Okie dokie. I hope that was beneficial for everybody. Sorry. I had like a million messages come through. I'm like, damn. Don't nobody ever want to talk to me until I get on here. I'm just saying. Anywho, I hope everybody is able to take from that what they can, and keep me posted. Let me know. I'll be interested to see, and you got to remember it's like, it's going to be that something where you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you'll like, maybe at first when it happens, but at some moment over the course of the next, if this is for you, obviously, next 5 days, you'll see an inkling and you're gonna be like, oh shit, this shit's about to, it's gonna happen. And so you just gotta like, and sometimes we might dismiss that this is the moment where I'm starting to see something because we're so used to seeing other people's antics. We're so used to, that kind of stuff. And maybe something isn't this grand something or other. Because it's like, obviously spirit's not just bringing something on a silver platter. It requires effort on your part. And so you may have to be like, oh shit. Because you can see once you let it set in how the domino effect could fall with this. You're like, that, okay. I think you'll catch on. I do. But anywho, you have to be a live participant at this point. So the moments of spirit saying there's nothing you can do about the situation, like it's just a futile effort, you should rest, any of that shit's over. Like, you need to be ready when the moment calls. You are now back into being an active participant. You can't control the shit. You can't force shit, but you are an active participant in this whole scenario, okay? In this evolutionary process. So, anywho. Alrighty, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'm going to hop off here. I need to get off. Sorry. Hope everybody have a good day. And surely over the next 5 days at some point, I'll hop on. So, and I'm also seeing 7/7, so that should be good luck. All right. Y'all have a great day. Peace out, home skillets.